Hello, here is another round from the Osaka League played on 2 handicap where black won by 22 points. And it felt pretty good for white in the beginning, catching up a lot, but then all of a sudden black kept all his territories and white quite comfortable. So let's get into it. Very good to start with the Komoko and then attack the top left corner to prevent the Shimari. Black is playing extremely conservative. Black is confident in the 2 handicap stones, it seems. And this h17, it's a bit too conservative. Normally if black wants to extend in the top, should be a little bit further, a j17 or even all the way to the middle of the side. But at this stage black is already center in the top left, so black should attack the lower right side, the lower right corner, p3 or p4 to prevent the Shimari. Let's say we have this Joseki on the board, so black already develops nice all over the board. Playing h17 is just going for a small portion of the board in the top area. So seems a bit over concentrated instead of playing j17, which is the right distance. So now white attacks from the bottom side. This is good. Nice directional play here. Also, it's good enough to play o3, but being a 2 handicap game, white has to go for large points and try to catch up the big open spaces faster. And instead of this extension, white should consider the mini Chinese formation, L3. So this is a way to go for a moyo much faster. And locally, white can also play the basic Joseki, so slide the d2 and then extend back to j3. The directional play is good, and also having the stone at r4 alternates very well the third line with the 4-line moves. So just O gamer in this case. Black extremely conservative secures the corner, but it's not really necessary. It's not a small move. The thing is, at this stage black can play p3 still, or even invade the bottom side at l3. So when white takes a Shimari, black will slide and then jump out. And now the bottom stones feel over concentrated for white. If white plays a move like k3 and then jumps out, black extends all the way to p3, and it's good directional play and also nice distance from the l3 stones. Now when black plays a move like p3, white can pincer n3 or m3, which is a good relationship with the j4 stones, but black can still settle the corner simply putting pressure like this, or attaching the corner and take the tiger mode. This is a good way for black to settle the group and then go for another big point like d2 or, for example, r14. d2 seems a little bit early, but black is still confident in the 2 handicap position. So white grabs another large point. So far so good, and this is nice directional play. Here black pincers. If black simply defends the top side, it feels good for white to fall back at q10 and go for a large framework on the right side. So pincer to prevent that. White comes out, that's good, and counter pincer, that's also nice. Black jumps, white jumps, and black attaches here. Normally black is supposed to defend the top at m16, but it's more urgent to fix these p12 stones. So instead of playing the attach, black should just turn p10. Now when white defends q8, for example, black can sacrifice a stone in order to get these forcing moves and create an eye, then jump out. Now the 3 white stones in the top are quite thin, so white needs either this kind of move or invade the corner. But if white invades the corner now, there's going to be a trade. So black will most likely give up the corner and go for the outside. Try to catch these 3 stones on a large scale. Now when we go back to the actual game, black plays this attach, and white can force black into a heavy formation, playing the hane. If hane, black will usually go up, white will bump, and then these 5 stones are already heavy, and now white has to go m16 to surround the top right corner. This is a way to try to take initiative and put some pressure on the top stones. If black goes down here, white can play a peep first to make sure black is not going to connect under, and then another move in the center to keep the stones connected. Now when black comes out with this group, pushing from behind will give territory on the right side, and black is still on the run. Now when white simply pulls back, this can give black a base or a nice shape by just playing r11. Also black could push along, and on this move bump, then white needs to protect against the cuts, probably the solid connection in this case to prevent the peep, and then black can jump out. So this way black shape is much more resilient. So Kosumi, the Kosumi is still kinda thin. White can attack later on, Hane for example, or a peep coming from this side, threatening to cut. But what white played here is very good, just came out to secure the right side. So black's group, it's thin as it stands, so black needs to jump along. Now black still needs to run out. Ooh, that's brave. This group on the right side is pretty thin. Black can think about Kosumitsuke like this, and then jump in the center. If white tries to link under, black has the option to play a peep and then separate, or just wedge and then cut the stones on top. Okay, tuk. This can be dangerous actually, because white can connect here. This way white captures. So first things first, black needs r11 and then consider the wedge at q14. Now white will protect, but there is no way to invade the corner anymore, and the group is still on the run. And this group on the right side, it's pretty safe now. So black can build the top, attacking that group in the middle. Well, black is brave, attacks the corner, and anyway, attacking this corner now, when white is strong, should be a move like o3, in which case, when white defends the corner, black can extend for a base on the bottom. And if white plays pincer, black can attach in the corner and crosscut. Then we have Atari again, connect, turn, tuck, and capture the stone. It's actually a Joseki, and well, black switch to the lower right. But it's a bit more dangerous for black to play p4, because white is strong on the right side, so white can jump out right away, or consider a pincer like it happened in the game. This entry is very good. Now black attaches, pulls back, white makes a tiger mount, this is good, big formation, and black is on the run. It's excellent to jump out here and separate black's groups. So put some pressure, so far so good. Separate the groups, that's also good. And here, white took gote instead of sente. White can play. So if white turns once, threatening the cut, and then double hane, which is threatening Atari k5 and capture, black will Atari like this and extend, and now white doesn't have to take the h4 stone right away, because it's more interesting to attack the stones on the right side. So let's say white surrounds here, or like this. There is no way for black to separate the bottom. Black needs to extend like this, and white can keep connected. If black goes down, white will just hane under, and when black plays Atari here, white doesn't have to do anything. So this is a way for white to grab center, and it's also a big opportunity to surround and try to kill the right side on a large scale. Therefore, white should push and double hane. Because if black comes out here, white will catch either 1 stone or 3 stones. And now it's painful for black, because black is still on the run with the bottom group, and the one in the middle is still thin. So instead of Nobi, which is more like a reflex play, just simply get ahead and generally good, but in this case is gote, white can push, hane, and keep center. So black found the timing to run out, but very soon is still going to be surrounded. Here white can consider this m16. m16 switch the direction and doesn't allow black build too much in the top. Many times the tendency for black is to attach here and pull back to stay safe, then secure the corner at S16. But having these stones in the top already breaks the top side, where black managed to build the biggest territory in this game. So simply jumping out, black can peep and jump along. And now white has a stick of stones, and it's difficult to break the top as long as white is busy to survive. So black jumps again. White pushes here. This is a good move. Actually, white can think about some shoulder hit of this kind in order to surround the group on the right side. So push along. White can think of a way to defend indirectly, for example Q9, because if black pushes here, white is connected. If black pushes like this, white connects this way. And playing Q9, it connects white indirectly, but also threatens the Atari at Q11. So in this case, if black pulls back, white has time to surround everything. And if black jumps out, white will play Atari here and then make some profit. So the way to defend at Q9 is more profitable. Now this is just a connection without any kind of impact on the Q10 stones. So black goes out and white surrounds. This is an excellent move. The group on the right side is again in danger. So black comes out, pushes again. This move is a bit strange. White should just block, because that's obviously the way black wants to go out. Now if black plays here, white can still play Atari from behind, but it's not necessary. You can simply pull back and surround the group in order to keep pressure on the entire group, not just a couple of stones. So when white plays this Atari, probably expecting black to connect, then white has to cover. But this exchange, M13, M12, can be played later as well. Doesn't have to be played now. So black changed his mind and sacrificed 2 stones in order to go out with the group, which was a good decision, but the position feels very powerful for white, so nothing to complain actually, or not that much. So black is going out, but we can say white profit a little bit here, being very thick in the center. And let's see if there is a way to attack more severe the bottom area. Push once, this is always center, then surround the group like this. If black captures a stone in the center, here white doesn't have to react. It's better to go in the corner. So the connection is threatening the cut, but then black just hane and he's fine. And this peep is not necessary. It's better to play the hane, and if black cuts, you use the Atari and then connect. Playing the peep, there is no longer possible to hane J7 or to threaten too much with it, because when you play here and black plays a double hane, you can cut with Atari and Atari again, then connect and threaten the bottom group. But once the peep is in place, the hane doesn't have the same kind of effect. So black can turn or even cut, white has to go out, black will block here, white needs to protect, and black can now leave. So back to the original game. A peep doesn't always become a good move just because it's sente. I mean, sometimes it's just ajikeshi or eliminates other good possible follow-ups. So anyway, black blocked, white cuts. The cut is not necessary. White should just turn, because if you manage to surround this group, it's better to continue with N6 to reduce the I shape. So if black comes out here, for example, and then you just surround with a Keima, and black is still worried about the center group, so he jumps again. Next, when you play here, you're not going to give black any I shape like this. So in the middle, in the end, black has like half an eye, because white can play here and force it, or play this one, or play this one, and in the end, the group can die. But once you play inside, black will capture, and this is I shape for black. So this feels very good. So now, anyway, white surrounded this group, black barely survive, but this connection is not necessary, because let's suppose white plays a big point like this extension. If black goes Atari here, white connects, nothing happens, and if Atari this way, white connects the other way. And again, it's not a problem, because the group on the right side is already safe, and the one in the middle is going to be separated even without the connection. So playing h6 was really slack. I mean, any kind of move like this one, or at least a 2-space jump or invasion in the top, for example k17 or the Sansan, would be much bigger. Now this is going to be Gote for black, and it's not necessary, he was already okay, but for safety reasons black wanted to make sure he's alive. This invasion in the top right was really good and pretty big. Normally black is supposed to jump again at k16. We will look at that invasion shortly, because white played k16 but actually k17 works. Now white goes up, that's very good. This is a large point for both white and black, so c9 is probably the last big point on the board that both can play. And once black got it, the territory balance turns into black's favor. So white tries to reduce the top, but it's a bit better to go inside at k17. Now the reason is, if black cuts like this and you're going for Atari, when black connects under with Atari and another Atari, there's a possibility to fight a ko. So Atari here, black takes the ko, then you play a ko threat, take back, black connects and fight the ko again. This is the kind of ko where white doesn't lose much, and if black loses the ko, he's losing a lot. I mean, let's say, I don't know, black plays here for example, you just take, and when he turns you leave in the top, and now you break the entire top side during the ko fight, which is quite spectacular. But if black tries for example go out like this and then cut, this doesn't work for black because white can go down. Now when black goes down, white captures 2 stones. If black saves like this, white will capture the other one, and again black is in trouble because the top side now it's almost dying. Very difficult for, oh actually it is dying, one eye only, so that's a pity. I think here white had a big chance to reduce the difference by jumping in at k17. So if black plays a move like k17, white is going to extend the left side, and it makes the game much closer. Now there's not much to damage like this. Actually that move gives points. You can just wedge, and then when black goes down, bump, black goes down again, Hane, Atari connect, and Nobi. So instead of playing L17 and lose it, you play L16 and you reduce some points. Because like this, obviously black will cut, and that stone, the L17, will die inside. And there is not much profit from it to sacrifice that stone. So that was a variation where black probably got the winning chance or the winning sequence. Now here white is trying hard to kill, but first of all this group it's not yet surrounded, and the way to go for the kill is better to start q9, because when black plays here, white can go inside and it's still difficult for black to make eyes on the right. Actually this would be a false eye, so black's only option to save the group is to run out in the center. So white should prepare a little bit. Instead of going for the direct kill, white can play a shoulder hit here, oops, like this, then an attach. Now if black plays the wedge, Atari, and extend. So first white is trying to grab something on the left side, because now being so strong on the left side, when the group is surrounded, let's say black plays this and white starts to go for the kill. When black turns here, white will just Nobi and then surround everything, and there is no room to create another eye in the center. So this would be probably the biggest opportunity for white. But playing from the inside, when black plays here and white reduces the eye, black can squeeze the right side. So it's much better to go q9, and then if black goes here, throw in. But you need a little preparation on the left side. So now trying hard to kill can backfire. Opa. So here black can just Hane and squeeze, and it's good enough. In fact, white can play the Hane, but anyway black will do this and then go down. Now with this move, black is threatening the throw in and Atari from behind, so white needs to take, capture, and then it's easy to make the second eye on the side. But also black could still try the escape in the middle with the turn. So like this is much more comfortable for black. All that squeeze played and Kosumi, and it's done. Black leaves comfortable, and white doesn't have enough territory now. So small endgame, but ouch. This was a big -2, so the push and cut doesn't work. Therefore, let's see. Yeah, this move doesn't build too much in the center. And on this one, white should just go down and play everything center on the side. Then moves like this or like this. But you don't have to try the push and cut because it will backfire. Yeah, that was quite expensive. And gote. That's a big endgame move. White is extremely, black is extremely conservative because he's way ahead. This is a bit dangerous. Here black can play this move first and then one space jump here to catch the DA stone on a large scale, and also in the corner there's nothing to worry about. Black doesn't want to risk at all. It kind of makes sense. In general, it's nice to throw in one time and then Atari, because later there are co-threats like this Atari, or cut first, oops, and after the cut you have Atari here, and then you have Atari in the corner, compared to this where black connects solid and then when cut, just capture. So it's only one co-threat left. And not much to do now. The way to connect, instead of solid connection, it's Kosumi, because black needs to protect and now white is center, so white can play away. But playing like this is gote. Anyway, not much to do now. So the biggest opportunity for white this game was to wait a second. Alright, back. So the biggest opportunity was to catch this right side, but with a little preparation and a different way to approach the kill. But earlier in the game, white should be a little more aggressive to reduce the top side. So enjoy the review and pay a bit more attention in local fights and how to take center next games when giving a handicap. Good luck.